We're 2 weeks into May. It was 80 degrees yesterday, and it's snowing right now. I'm not going to be able to move too much fill around to get the pad ready to pour the slab on Monday. The weather looks horrible next week, but I'm still going to try. But with the weather like it is right now, I thought I would come up and cut some trees. This southern side of my property, the neighbor had it surveyed yesterday, and so we now know exactly where my property line is. And one of the things I want to do is put a road up that property line all the way to the back of my property. And my thought was this would be a good time to at least start cutting maybe a 10-foot wide swath up that side. So there's that spring that's at the back of the property that I hope to use for a lot of different things, and now I can confirm that it's on my property. And so I thought today I'd take the chainsaw and walk up the hill and start cutting some trees. So the neighbors paid to have their property line surveyed, which helped me identify on the south side of my property line. It helped me figure out exactly where it was. And it was raining earlier, so I decided to fire up the chainsaw and start thinning these trees along this southern side. Now, my initial idea was to put in some sort of a road, but I think it's too steep. I'm gonna have to put kind of a zigzag road all the way up to the back of this. But as I cut these, the maples down, I found this gigantic spruce tree, which has got to be ancient. I think it's a spruce. Actually, it might be a pine tree. It's probably a pine tree. This tree's probably, I definitely couldn't wrap my arms around it, but I'm guessing that's a good lightning strike right there. But she's a giant tree. I won't touch this tree. I'll definitely do everything I can to keep this one alive, starting by getting rid of all the little maples that that are robbing nutrients from this big mature pine tree. You know, most of these trees as they grow, they don't get proper sunlight, and so they die off like this right here. And I think that's part of the reason we have the beautiful topsoil that we do, combined with the leaves. But I want to make this as useful as I can, and I just don't see how keeping all of these maple trees is going to do that. And I hate doing it in some cases, but I leave the big, healthiest looking maple trees that I can find, and most of them are just slowly dying because they're just not getting enough sunlight. But you can see by cutting all these trees down, the perspective completely changes. When I get down there on the bottom and look up here, all of a sudden I realize I've got 42 acres of land, which is quite exciting. I don't see how I'll be able to do much with this hillside here other than maybe use it for pasture, but it does flatten out a little bit up on top. And so I'll figure out what's going on. Now that we also have the property lines established, I can determine if that spring is in fact on my property.